Hey guys, my name is Loveless and we are here with this game once again. Okay, so let's jump into it. Okay, wait, this is the latest. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So I haven't played this one for like almost 10 days. Jesus. Woo. Okay. Alright, so let's continue on. So I looked at my hand to seeing my engagement ring, imagining the wedding ring that was made for me, replacing it. Soon enough, it would be on my finger and would be able to continue living my life as normal. Pulling myself out of my thoughts, I looked at the woman as she stood and bowed to me.
Well, I shall leave you be. I will bring food whenever it is ready, so that you don't starve.
Yeah, humans do need food. Thank you, I appreciate it. With that, the woman left, leaving me alone in the room to wait. I remained in the room until night came. I was given food which looked like soup. The woman who gave it to me apologized, letting me know that the food was scarce until the upcoming harvest, which was in a couple days anyway. Being that I was only staying the day, I didn't mind much. I was more concerned over what I was given to eat. It looks normal. It's sort of like a stew with mysterious chunks swimming in the broth. Don't think about it. Just eat it. Because if you go think about it, like if it's like some type of meat or like carnivore, like humans, don't think about it. Just eat it. Surprisingly good, but who knew how it tasted? Yeah, it smells surprisingly good. Just eat it. I gulped it. I had to try it. I had to eat it. I haven't eaten much in 2 days. Yeah, like, what's the point of refusing it? It looks good. Before I came to the demon world, I was pretty certain that Diana wouldn't poison me now, and I was fairly sure that she wouldn't serve me anything disgusting. At least not too disgusting. I lifted the spoon that was sitting in the broth, letting it capture some of the stew as it rose. I mean, it wasn't terribly scary to look at. I gulped and slowly brought the spoon to my lips, the feeling of the heat emanating from the stew. A knock rapped on the door, breaking me out of my train of thought. Huh? Come in! The door opened to reveal Diana with a plate holding the things I recognized, bread and cheese. I let out a heavy sigh of relief before Diana laughed.
I suggest not trying that. As good as it smells, the taste would not sit well with you.
Good. Alright. Instantly, I moved the bowl to the nearby table. Thankfully that I did not try it. And yeah, but it smells so good. Okay. Diana handed me a plate and nodded, reassuring me that what was on it indeed was something what it seemed.
It's not much, but it's human food. Eat up.
Okay. I will. I began to chow down, feeling the hunger in my stomach dissipate with each bite and swallow. The food I was eating surprisingly was delicious as I began to crave something to drink. Diana chuckled and formed a small goblet in her hand, filling it with liquid, I assumed to be water. I took it and drank it down, feeling the thirst quench before I let out a sigh. I feel so much better.
I can tell. Take a moment to finish eating, then we'll head for the ritual.
Okay. I looked up at Diana, suddenly excited. Everything was prepared? Was it possible to go home now? As if she read my mind, she smiled and nodded.
We finished the main preparations. We just need to head over and we'll start.
I couldn't continue eating. My mind was obsessed in a obsessed frenzy of wanting to go home. I stood and moved to the plate and goblet of nearby table. Let's go.
Huh? Are you sure?
I nodded, not wanting to waste any more time. I needed to get home, and I was tired of waiting. Diana started before nodding and heading out for the door, opening it for me and exiting it after me. As she closed the door behind her, I began to feel my heart flutter in relief joy. I was heading home. Diana laid me on the corridor of the war room while I was originally arrived to reveal a table corner in a plates and artifacts of different kinds. None of it made sense to me, but I assumed that it was what was needed for the spell to work. Diana walked to the table and took the note that she saw, with nodding.
This should work.
You're in doubt?
Have to be after the last time we tried sending her home. Do we have a human anchor?
No, you're on your own this time. But we'll make sure you survive casting it.
Okay, that's good.
This spell should work, however, because we'll be using energy material. It will only require a slice of your energy on top of these items, which your guard can refill immediately after this.
Yep.
Just make sure you don't die casting it.
Yeah, please don't. Diana smiled at her guard before turning to me.
So, are you ready to return home?
Yes, she didn't have to ask. I'm ready. Diana nodded once more before turning her back to the table. She lifted her arms over the surface, lowering her head, muttering underneath her breath.
Vote nibris portas, apriat nobis, largiatur exidium.
As she spoke, the table began to glow as she did. A dark purple aura began to surround her form and lifted her and arched her head back, staring at the ceiling. A glimpse of her eyes made me gasp. A warm golden orbs covered her blood-red irises. Glowing with magic, she was deep within the spell. As I could see, she slowly drew energy from her body. The items on the table began to gleam wildly, lights or floating from them and dancing in the air above the table surface. They began to weave back and forth with each other as the lights were dancing to a silent tune. The other demon stepped back as Diana moved her arms up and pointed to the dancing lights. Her fingers pointed into the air, leading the lights to follow where it was directed obediently. She drew a large circle in the air that the lights found a perfect trail, sliding out of the form in a large void in the air, and finally stopped moving, and they burst into light, causing the demon and I to cover my eyes from it. And engulfed the room, but died down as fast as revealing a small tear in the air. Diana quickly leaned forward and dug her hands into it before pulling the tear apart, revealing my bedroom. Diana continued to pull the tear open, giving enough space for me to jump through.
Hurry and go through! This is your chance!
I wasn't gonna let it go to waste. I gripped the bottom of my dress and I rushed forward, using the momentum to jump into the air and forward towards the void. I almost reached it. I could feel the air conditioning. What? I was.
She will never
Why?
leave this world alive!
Why? I don't understand. Why? What the hell is this piece of shit? Every single time I was like, oh, please don't, please don't. In my back of my head, I was like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and I'm not gonna say anything because then I may not. Okay, so the demon ass's voice rung through the air as I saw my fingertips pass through the tear. What stopped the rest of my body was the red light that forced me and Diana back from the opening. Gah! I felt my body fly backwards, slamming into the wall. Before I landed onto the stone, I hear Diana also land beside me with a painful thud. I looked up and felt my heart break as the tear became wrapped in lightning, zipped itself closed and vanished in the thin air. No, this can't be.
Damn it!
That should have worked! How could it have failed?
We must have missed something. Was there anything we had forgotten?
No, I verified everything myself.
Then why was the Demon Lord able to overpower a gate spell?
Good question.
I highly doubt you know either, brute.
Stop fighting! We need to make a plan, and all of you are just being stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
Are you all right, Isaiah?
I'm fine. Is...
I was too lost in my mind to fully understand what was going wrong around me. I was so close. I felt the other side. I almost made it home. Why couldn't I go home? Diana grunted of the pain next to me made me scoot my head towards her, and I watched her slowly push herself off the ground and glared at the table.
The Demon Lord must have done something more than simply bring her here.
What could he have done?
Yeah, I want to know too.
Now, the Demon Lord is incapable of doing anything of the sort. His lackey imps must have done something to her.
A spell?
Yeah, really?
A curse.
And curse? So that's why you kept saying you cannot leave this world alive? Really? Okay, I looked at the rabbit woman, seeing her stare wide-eyed at me. The other demons stared at me as well. Suddenly, I felt like I was on display. Was something wrong with me?
She will not leave the demon world alive. He must have placed some sort of curse on her to prevent her from leaving this plane. In order to leave, she'd have to die.
What? Yeah, he kept saying that multiple times. My mind went blank. Did the Demon Lord really curse me? Was I forced to stay in this world until I died? I can never go back?
Are you suggesting a barrier curse?
That would explain the red energy that sealed the tear.
But dark magic like that requires...
The blood of 1,000 demons. He must have sacrificed part of his army to cast a curse on her that would prevent her from leaving.
Yeah, but what makes her so with me so important that would actually it's like, oh, make her so important.
The Demon Lord is that desperate for her.
Yeah, what the fucking point is that? What? She's just a human that happens to be almost marrying the next heir to the throne. Well, if you look at it that way, if you're trying to get your son to actually take his rightful place, then you could force him by stealing his wife and yeah, it kind of makes sense. That bastard. Okay.
The only way to break that kind of curse is to kill the caster, the Demon Lord himself.
Yeah.
She's trapped here until this war is over.
My body began to shiver violently. The Demon Lord killed a thousand demons just to trap me here? Why? Why? I slammed my fist to the ground, beginning to scream. I want to go home. Why? Okay, I could feel the sympathy and anger in the room, but I didn't care. I was beyond livid. I was far past broken. I was seeing red. Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay, because she had some type of magic or something. As my voice ripped through the air, a bright light erupted through the room. Once again, everyone covered their eyes, but Diana quickly scrambled to get on her knees and covered me with her body. She held me tight as the light invaded the space and slowly began to fade. As the light finally died, everyone moved their hands from to see what happened. In the air, there was a white tear that was slowly opening, facing down towards the table. Something was coming. I could feel it in the air. The guard summoned his spear and pointed it at the tear, glaring at it and gritting his teeth.
Something's coming!
In reply, Diana summoned what was like a saber and placed it in front of us.
Ready yourselves! It could be the Demon Lord!
Okay, and the other demons in the room readied themselves and stared at the tear, either holding a weapon or preparing a spell. I felt the air change become heavier as the tear began to grow. The energy around began to pulsate, making everyone in the room more tense. I stared at the tear as well, frightening of what was coming out. Was the Demon Lord? His minions? My mind was circling fearful ideas of what could appear. It's the boys, ain't it? My heart's almost stopped. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I figured. I was like, it's the boys. I was like, I bet. I was thinking it was just James or himself, but it's like just the boys. I knew it. Okay, falling from the tear, landing on the table was the 5 incubi brothers. They were piled on top of one of another, having coming through one at a time. Oh God. However, the last brother landed on the boys, fell to one side, toppling over the table and landed on the floor. The rebels around me started to stare at the fallen pile of incubi, confused and surprised, as the tear in the air closed. An ogre man was first to lower his sword.
What the hell?
Who are they?
Careful, they could be the Demon Lord's men.
No! The rebels looked at me as I stood up. Diana followed and still protecting me as I stared at the boys on the ground. They all were dazed, a bit shell-shocked from having fell twice in rapid succession. I almost couldn't believe it. They were right in front of me. I can't speak. You can't eat words. I can't eat English. Okay. My mind couldn't remember how I first met them, but they had all found... Oh, they did! They came through a portal, unconscious and wounded, now in front of me in the demon world. I know them. Wow, they changed quite a bit. Hey, even James is here. Okay, so I was 6 of 5 boys, and then I'm thinking that James didn't make it. I'm such an idiot. Okay, so seeing him slowly shake his head and rise from the ground. They came to rescue me. He came to rescue me. My heart began to come. I don't think they did anything. I was going home. No. The question is how. Okay, as I sighed, the boys kept the demon attention a sec. The second tear opened, causing everyone to look up. 4 women. Hey, they're women. Sweet. Managed to fall into the arms of the incubus behind James.
Whoa!
Hey, Carrie.
I gotcha.
Oh, she's so cute.
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my God, they match so well. Oh my God.
I gotcha. It's okay.
Oh, he's so cute. He's so nerdy.
Eric!
Oh man, very much a good couple.
Love, I've got you.
Yeah, okay. So I stared wide-eyed. Their wives came too, pretty much. Okay, I watched as the boys and the girls finally planted themselves on the ground before looking around as I spotted James. However, he quickly rushed over.
Love!
James! Okay, to my surprise, Diana quickly moved out of the way, allowing him to approach me and wrap his arms around me. The feeling of his body's against mine set a shiver up my spine. He was really here. I instantly wrapped my arms around my body, burying my face into his shoulder and taking in his scent. His head gently nuzzled into my shoulder as James curled over, bringing my body closer to him.
Thank God you're safe.
Yeah. You came for me. I could barely believe it, but I did. I scented his cologne, the texture of his clothing, knowing that I wasn't dreaming. He came to find me. The question was, how would we both leave? James gently loosened his embrace and looked at Diana, who was standing by our side watching. I couldn't see his expression, but Diana stared wide-eyed, almost in fear of James. Why? As James began to speak, I could feel a violent power in the room, while Diana held dominance before the incubus had arrived. It was particularly ripped from her as James claimed me once again in arms.
Care to explain why my bride is here, Diana?
Your father.
Yep. Pretty much simple as that. Your dad. I looked up at James to see staring at Diana down as if he couldn't believe her explanation. Tighten the hug. I would say tighten the hug just to get his attention. Oh, it didn't work.
And why have you not sent her back?
We tried twice.
Again, your father.
Yeah. Okay, I watched as James' eyes closed further, almost hidden his whiskey brown irises in unimpressed and unconvinced glare.
As much as I despise my father, why do I have a hard time believing that?
Okay, from besides Diana, the sphere guard stepped and crossed his sphere across Diana's body as act as protection. He seemed unfazed by James's glare and almost felt like he was channeling him for the power play, thrashing in air. It was like James and Diana were opposing alphas, because they fucking are. And the guard was protective mate. Cause he is. Oh, so cute.
Believe what you will. My lady was about to send her back before you came.
So true. Okay, James looked to the guard and visibly sized him up. The guard glare tightened his grip on the spear, but remained beside his mistress. As James looked back to Diana and holding me tightly.
Go on.
Diana sighed softly and placed a hand on the guard's shoulder, looking at him, but the guard refused to turn himself or his spear away from me and James.
He cast a curse on your bride-to-be, barring her from leaving this world alive.
A curse?
Pretty much.
Yes, she can't leave this world unless she dies, or until we kill the Demon Lord.
And so I could feel James's arms tense around me. For some reason, the look in his eyes changed from anger to almost hopefulness. Huh? Was he hoping that he would be able to leave? I hope so. We would be able to leave.
Now, I must ask that you recognize whose kindness you are testing.
Yeah.
Set up.
Okay, Diana tightened her hands on her guard's shoulder, almost digging her nails into his jacket. However, her eyes remained on James, now submissive to his dominant stare.
We have been fighting him consistently and have successfully pinned him into a corner. Our next attack will be on the Demon Lord's castle, and it will be the final battle.
Succubus, if I may...
No, you may not.
Okay. The lanky man stared wide-eyed at Diana, but she ignored him. Instead, she continued to stare up at James, unfazed at her... She stared at James, unfazed at her harsh tone towards her companion. James eventually released me from his embrace and faced Diana and her guard, standing tall, almost looking down his nose at them.
And when do you plan to attack him?
Yeah, who's that? With a nasty snarl, the large demon male stepped forward and glared at James. I felt my body tense in reflex, but James continued to stand tall.
Why the fuck should we tell you?
1 week's time.
Everyone in the room shot their heads towards Diana, mostly shocked or surprised.
What? 1 week?
Okay, I looked at Diana and watched her, unable to turn away from James's gaze. She wasn't entranced, but it seemed as if she wasn't able to pull away from the gaze battle between them out of fear.
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
We need to fully prepare ourselves for the final stage, which I'm certain will only take a couple of days. We've pinned him into a corner. The Demon Lord will fall.
That's rather bold to assume.
Yeah.
She's right, though. We can prepare everything in that time frame, right?
And if he does the same and attacks us before then?
True, that's why it has to be shorter.
He won't.
Why you say that? Why you say he won't? Okay, I watched as Diana cleared the table of materials they had gathered for the gate spell, revealing the physical map of the abyssal plains. Abyssal. I don't know how to say it. Okay, plains. She pointed to a spot on the map, a peninsula peninsula surrounded. Why are these words so hard? I know how to say them, but saying them out loud just sucks. Okay, the decaying sea.
We'll cast a barrier spell along the edge of the peninsula and around the castle.
Yeah, right.
He and his army won't be able to move from that spot until we break it ourselves, which will be during the siege.
Where would we get the energy needed for that kind of spell?
We won't be using energy.
Dark magic? The other rebels, demons in the room suddenly tensed up at Diana in surprise. What was she gonna do?
My lady, you're not suggesting...
The Demon Lord has shown how far he is willing to go to win this war. It's only fitting to show the extent we'll go to in response.
As much as I agree with you, this seems a little rash.
As much as I agree with you, wow.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, poor little Matthew. I just want to hug him.
Are they allowed to know?
Yeah, they're kind of the heirs.
I plan to put a barrier curse around the Demon Lord's castle and army. It's temporary, so it won't need the blood of 1,000 demons. But it will need the sacrifice of at least one demon life.
And I assume you'll be sacrificing one of my soldiers.
Is this our only option?
There are other options, but they will most likely take a lot of energy to pull off. It just depends on what we want to do. If we want to do this immediately, then the barrier curse is indeed the best option.
I'm not opposed to performing the curse. As rash as it is, it will make our lives easier in the long run.
Yeah, sacrificing one.
You expect me to hand over one of my men? My soldiers joined the rebellion to kill the Demon Lord, not to get their throats slit before even seeing the final battle.
Yeah.
It's wrong, but can we really afford to spend any more energy?
What, Diana, are you gonna
already
force...
spent a lot trying to send the human back.
True.
What is the other option?
Is she gonna sacrifice herself? Okay, the rabbit woman and fairy move towards the map, pointing at the peninsula.
We could form tall rock walls around the castle. Box him in.
But that can fail.
It will take a lot of our energy, but we can recover in that week period.
And what will stop the Demon Lord from tearing down the walls?
Yeah, exactly.
I can imbue the walls with holy magic.
Okay, the incubi and I looked at him, all equally surprised. The demon with holy magic? How?
How the fuck did you get holy magic? You look and smell like a demon.
Okay, the guard held up his wrapped hand bearing the beads around it, jiggling the sudden motion.
I've had the ability to use holy magic ever since I was taken in by my lady's family. There's no doubt that I am a demon, but I can't recall how I gained this ability.
Yeah. How is holy magic different from demon magic?
It's white magic. Unlike demon magic, holy magic isn't so finicky. Think of it as warding or dispelling magic. You can't bless air or anything that doesn't have physical form, but you can bless objects to fight back against other forms of magic.
If the walls were blessed with holy magic, the Demon Lord wouldn't be able to escape until we released him.
And that'll take a lot of energy.
Why not just trap him forever?
That would be a barrier magic, and that would require 1,000 demons.
That's idiotic. He would still be a threat regardless.
True.
Holy magic doesn't last forever.
True.
And stone will crumble eventually.
Yup, and demons live for a long ass fucking time.
He's right. We wouldn't be able to keep the walls up forever.
Suddenly, the situation became more and more complicated the more we discussed it. How are we going to be able to go about this?
We can't just sit around and debate this forever. The longer we wait, the more we risk him striking back at us.
True.
But is it worth killing someone to trap him?
When we finally strike, we will lose hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers anyway. What difference will it make to lose one more life on top of this?
True.
Soulless fuck.
Still, it's a fact.
We can still cage him in.
But that will take weeks. A week of regaining your magic. I bit my lip. It was a really tough decision. A curse or a trap. Which was better? Oh God, please don't have me choose. Let me save. Do I gotta save? Let me save. Okay, there you go. Go back. It's making it sound like I gotta choose where they want my opinion. No. Okay, for the look of it, no one wanted to speak up, so I felt the urge to say, "No! Keep your mouth shut! Keep your fucking mouth shut!" Ah! Okay, I would be the one who would be able. No! 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 Back! No! Which means fucking shit. I would say the curse, to be honest, because the trap, that's too, yeah, it can fail. I say the curse because the trap kind of just because the curse, oh, it fucking works. An eye for an eye. Oh yeah, I got an eye for an eye achievement. To be honest, he cursed me. And I cursed him back, and it's also only taking one life. It's like, okay, I'm gonna lose more anyway. Everyone in the room looked at me in surprise as I finally spoke. The demon lord had trapped me here with the blood of 1,000 demons. It was only fair that we trapped with just one life. Will this curse work with just one life?
Yes. He won't be able to escape because of its dark magic.
Are you sure this is the best choice?
Why do I gotta fucking choose? A monster like him won't stop if we box him in. We have to ensure that he won't be able to do anything while we prepare to fight back. Everyone nodded, most in reluctance while the others did with confidence. Diana, however, turned to the orc man with a stern face.
As for your reluctance, Sir Brute, we won't be using one of your men.
Okay.
Well then, who would you use?
Please don't say yourself, Diana. Because I'm like thinking, it's just like, really? Oh God, guys. Okay, at that moment, Diana smirked, sending a familiar shiver down my spine. For a split second, I swore I saw a flash of gold in her visible eye as she replied to Matthew.
A little mongrel who had the nerve to electrocute me in my own castle.
Oh. Okay. Well, that makes the curse really, really good. Okay. It works. Okay, I picked the right choice. Yay. Okay, I stared. There was an imp in the castle. However, my mind released the question focused on Diana's smirk. Something was off about Diana. I couldn't put my finger on it. When I came to the demon world, I could barely recognize her and didn't expect her kindness. Now I was staring at her in that moment, and I again recognized the woman who had attacked me in the human world. Diana shook her head before crossing her arms and looking directly at me.
So, since you'll be here for a while, we might as well give you names that you can use to refer to everyone here.
Yeah, instead of, hey, you!
Are we getting human names?
Must we?
Diana rolled her eyes and gestured to each demon, naming them on the fly.
For the sake of time, we'll use simple names. This is Rabbit, our magic advisor. Sergeant, commander of our armies. Shadow, leader of our assassins. And Faye, our nomadic force ambassador.
Okay.
Sergeant? I'm a commander, succubus. Shouldn't my name be Commander?
It's easier on the tongue, though, to say Sergeant.
It is.
My lady, what shall they call me?
Oh, but your name is so good. I looked at Sierra at the moment before turning her head as if looking serious and emanated. What the fuck is that word? Emanated? Emanating. I don't know. English is hard. Cause like English is stupid. Like words, like how they're sounding it out is complete and utter bullshit. It does not work all the time. Like eyes. Who would think eyes would have like I-E-I-Y-E-S? It's just stupid. English is stupid.
You may call him Cero. He is my personal guard, and he is always by my side.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I figured he would get the same name because, like, Sarah is such a good name. Why would you change it?
Are you sure?
Yeah, true. Giving true names is pretty.
Call him only if your life depends on it. Do not abuse this permission.
Oh, shit. Her eyes seemed to burn as she gazed into mine, full of hard intent and warning. I mentioned, noting her seriousness as she ran a hand through her hair.
Well, now that we have a plan and introductions are out of the way, I believe we can end this meeting. We have a lot to accomplish in 1 week.
Why would she purposely not actually just give him a fake name temporarily? Like, really?
What about us? You don't expect us to sit around.
Actually, I do. You all don't belong on the battlefield.
To be honest.
Wait, hold on. That's not fair.
I will not take untrained and unarmed beings into a war zone.
Hold on. I interjected, stepping forward and crossing my arms at Diana. She seriously wasn't going to make us stay back while she fought the Demon Lord, was she? We can fight too. That's not fair, Diana. Is this really what we should do? I don't think we should fight. I agree with Diana. I wouldn't say, that's not fair, because that's pretty much what she said. I would say, is this really what we should do? Okay, Diana nodded at me, a look of sincerity in her eyes as she locked her gaze with mine. I knew that she was trying to protect us, but was it necessary? Like, that's a good question.
Unless you can fight, I can't guarantee that you will survive this war.
Good. Good. Yeah, you put it that way. That's
Let
perfect.
me and my brothers train then. We're demons, for fuck's sake. We know how to fight.
Okay, the boys stared at Diana as she turned her head towards Sam. He was right, though. They knew how to train, so they knew how to fight. If they fought with the rebellion, then they should have a better chance of winning the war.
You all realize this is a war, correct? You can die here.
Exactly.
We understand completely.
We do too, Diana.
Okay, at least I went middle ground. It was like, hey, I want to see where this is going. Like, is it really the right thing to do with fighting? But I'm not fixing to go like, we can fight too. And it's like, I don't necessarily want to fight because I don't want to die like that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Defeated Diana sighed and rubbing her temples.
Very well. I can't exactly keep you here like prisoners, so it will be up to you if you choose to train for battle. However, I highly suggest just staying here and allowing us to handle it.
I nodded as the others did. They like, give everyone a choice, to be honest. Like, don't just have everyone just volunteer all at once, but like, hey, give it a choice. Okay, I'm actually going to pause right now. This is perfect. I mean, like 80 something minutes. I mean, not 80 something minutes. 30 something minutes. Almost 40 minutes. It's a good time to stop. Okay, let me go ahead and save. Since I actually did the right choice, so I guess me saving beforehand is not really that necessary. I guess I'll just oversave this. Yes, just oversave that. Alright, so if you want to see more of this, then you know what to do.